single bullet from a .22 caliber.
That's a pump! This gotta be Fortnite!
Step straight to your street. You know my skin beat up.
You too, what it do, man? It is your boy Abdul up next, and I'm back with another video. You guys didn't get the jumping, I know. No jumping. It's serious from the start. Just got off of work. I know I've been gone 2 weeks from YouTube, man. 2 weeks was all it took for me to go bankrupt. So now I'm just trying to hustle my way through, man. And today we're reacting to a video called Nathaniel, the 11-year-old. Now there's no way in this world that there's supposed to be an 11-year-old. Now tell me this, you guys. I want you guys to tell me this. What do you or I look like dying to an 11-year-old? Imagine you gotta go to the heaven gates and it's an 11-year-old fault. If I found out an 11-year-old was trying to, I would just grab my belt. Boy, I done been through a lot. Boy, I just put my belt. Some kids need a whooping. Nowadays, every kid is bad. Most of these people nowadays be fatherless. So it makes sense to why they doing wild stuff at young ages. They don't have a dad, y'all. They fatherless. Do me a favor and subscribe to my backup channel, More Abdul Up Next, and my other channel, Abdul Up Next Live. Those are my other two channels because this channel could be getting taken down. I'm already working at McDonald's. They about to take my channel down too. Oh, now you'll see why I'm at McDonald's. 3, 2, 1. 11-year-old killer. Yeah, like that's a thing. That's not a thing, boy. He barely even knows how to on games. The 11-year-old, that's the little brother that always asks for the controller because he trash, but he just want to play because his older brother playing. You 11.
Nathaniel Abraham was just 11 years old when he found himself in the middle of one of the most controversial.
Nathaniel, that hairline is a... What do we call this hairline? That's a slave hairline. I ain't gonna lie. They said Nathaniel Langston. I ain't gonna lie. That hairline is crucial. This man's barber went to jail too, didn't he? I heard in jail people line each other up, give each other haircuts with sticks and stuff in jail. You might want to use a stick. Anything will help, bro. That hairline is circular. How is your hairline a straight line?
The most controversial cases in the history of the United States of America. The case scandalized the country and almost everyone responded with outrage. A case. But the folks on Nathaniel's block, his own neighbors, well, they weren't particularly shocked. He might have been little, measuring no more than 4 feet and weighing
a 4 foot 60 pound. What this is, Chucky? A 4 foot 65 pound catching bodies. That's who's supposed to be sending somebody to the gulag.
A little under 65 pounds, but he was also a thorn in the side of everyone in the neighborhood, a danger to the community.
He threatened my grandsons all the time. He threw rocks at my mom's house. I mean, he was dangerous.
And she wasn't alone. Another neighbor, an 11-year-old girl, shared a similar sentiment because, according to her, when they were both 9, Nate had threatened her with a gun. So, as Nathaniel...
9 gun! When I was 9, I didn't even know what a gun was. What gun? Nerf gun? Water gun. Water gun. You're gonna suspend him for a water gun. Cause it wasn't a real one. It couldn't have been a real one. It couldn't have been. He's 9.
The case began to take its hold in the center of public consciousness. It became clear that his entire block had turned against him. As disturbing as these allegations sounded, it seemed like they were true. All of his neighbors wanted him locked up, except one. Only one neighbor on Nate's block came to his defense when the cameras started rolling. He didn't try to downplay or dismiss claims about the boy.
I think that's crazy for him to be charged as an adult. He was only 11 years old.
This neighbor was convinced that the little boy wasn't the devil. He was just a broken child who...
Charged as an adult at 9 years old is insane. No matter what the man did. Of course his block turned on him. Bruh, if I had Stewie living next door to me, I'm snitching on his ass too. This ain't TV. He done watch too much TV. He just reenacting it. That boy 9 years old talking about a gun. I'm still stuck on that. No way.
Terrible decisions. This man had also experienced a version of Nate that his neighbors hadn't got the chance to see. He wanted the government and the prosecutor.
As a person that's scared of dogs, watching that video of him getting jumped on by that dog, I would have passed out. I just want you to know that I would have passed out. Just saying.
to go easy on the young boy. Why? Because Nathaniel Abraham was an 11-year-old boy charged with the murder of an 18-year-old named Ronnie Green.
This is Fortnite. This is exactly how it be in Fortnite. You get on Fortnite, you getting sent to the lobby. My guy got sent to the lobby by an 11-year-old. This gotta be Fortnite.
Because in the most controversial turn of events, the state of Michigan was willing and ready to try him as an adult due to the severity of his crime.
What'd he do?
And if they found him guilty,
What'd he do?
the prosecutors were able to get what they wanted. Little Nate would spend the rest of his life in prison for a crime he committed when he was just 11.
I want you guys in the comments to tell me something right now. If an 11-year-old takes out an 18-year-old, does he deserve to go to jail for the rest of his life for what he did at 11? Answer that in the comments, because I can't tell yet.
You watching would say regardless of the age.
Yeah, exactly.
Of this
That's
story
what I'm saying.
All the more interesting. Let me set the record straight before we dive into this case. The true victim in this story was 18-year-old Ronnie Green. Nate was a preteen, a teenager, and now he had to face the consequences.
11!
What went wrong?
Yeah,
We have
tell
to
me,
trace
please.
The thread back to the very big Pontiac, Michigan, 1986.
Pontiac, Michigan. I thought the only person from there was DDG. I dang near thought he was making the city up. I dang near thought the city didn't exist. He the only person in the world who said Pontiac, Michigan. Now we got an 11-year-old who totes blickies. That totes blickies.
Months after he was born, his father left and never returned.
Oh yeah, we knew that. We knew that already. You didn't even have to let us know. We been guessed that. We knew you fatherless to be in this intrication.
Sudden change resulted in incredible hardship for the family because Nate wasn't the only child. There were 6 of them. His mother, Gloria, was forced to take up 2 jobs to keep their family. Gloria was caught between a rock and a hard place, between spending time raising her children or working hard to ensure they didn't starve to death. It's no easy dilemma. However, this whole situation turned out to be the perfect storm for something dark within Nate. With no one to keep him in check, Nate became delinquent.
Ooh, the boy didn't even have no daddy. His dad left him before he could even remember his dad's name. His dad left him before he had recollection of what life was. He at school seeing people with dads. He like, yo, what's that? He not too familiar to seeing what dads is. I know. I can tell when somebody not familiar. Because you were delinquent at 11 years old. You had to have no dad. But no mom? Sheesh. You know when they raised by their grandma, they real bad. They terrible.
From the moment he could walk, he began to exhibit extremely antisocial behavior. Many kids show these traits when they are young. Parents corrected and rooted out. But
antisocial.
no one was around to do that for Nate. So
what, Nate was a popular loner?
It grew into something so ugly that by the time that he was 9, he had become a troublesome child with a rap sheet of a serious middle-aged criminal. From the age of 9 till 11, Nate had 22 police encounters. Some for arson, a couple of others for assault, and several for breaking and entering.
Oh my God. They got an 11-year-old doing heist. The little out there doing heist, breaking and entering. 22 police encounters? He 11 years old, he got 5 GTA stars?
Out of those 22, at least 5 involved the use of a weapon. One involved a 14-year-old that he beat with a steel pipe, and the last involved an adult, a bus driver. At some point, he became such a problem in the neighborhood that the prosecutors would later reveal in court that a neighbor moved out of the block because of it. That same neighbor would also say,
"Oh, hell nah. This man doing stuff I ain't even heard of. What is arson? You going to jail for arson?" This man was 11 years old doing this. What grade you in at 11? You in like 1st grade. You still racing people in school. You still got a girlfriend because you the fastest person in class. What, somebody beat you in a race? You done beat them up? What you beating up people in school for? You got beef with your teacher because you didn't want to do your spring break packet? I'm confused.
quite prophetically, that someday Nate was going to somebody. Now, you are probably wondering what Nate's mother did during this period. At some point, she began to feel helpless when almost every day there was someone knocking on their door reporting Nate's latest crime. One major reason why she felt helpless was because that she had actually gone to the police for help. She wanted them to intervene in her son's situation, but they referred her to the juvenile court. And when
you know what you just need to do? Put a belt to that little boy. Boy, put a belt. All you gotta do is put a belt, a metal belt. Do I need to give you a belt? Have you heard of a belt? What, you scared he gonna whoop you? He 4 foot 50 pounds. And y'all scared of him. Who he, Stewie?
got there, they sent her back to the police, telling her that her word wasn't enough.
Put his beyond scared straight. I bet if he got a 50-year-old person in his face like, I'ma tickle your booty, he'll slow down.
No one was prepared to help. Nobody was ready to intervene. Now, remember when I said Nate was born into a perfect storm? There was one more piece left for the chaotic future he was now destined to have. The 1980s was a very interesting decade in American history. Ronald Reagan became president. CNN became a thing. There were those interesting-looking Macintosh computers, and then
oh my God,
violence. Widespread violence in major
1980s. Oh Lord. Did y'all have Harriet Tubman too? 1980s. It's 2024, man. Get that out my face.
However, the most troubling part of the 1980s
I didn't know he was in school,
bro.
bro.
Violent crimes committed by juveniles. Between 1980 and 1994, the number of juvenile homicide offenders doubled. And according to FBI clearance statistics from that time frame, the juvenile responsibility for all homicides in the country grew from 5% to 10%. The quick answer to why this was happening was the crack epidemic of the mid-1980s. While there is no record of drug dealing activity on his juvenile record, it wouldn't be wild to suggest that he found himself in that crowd.
What in the hold up? Hold up. If that ain't crazy, if that ain't racist, bro gonna literally pin crimes on him cause he black. Why you say it's wild? Oh, it's not wild to assume he deals drugs. You're literally pinning crimes on him. He's literally 11 years old and black. You're racist, bro. Yo, you're sick.
When 11-year-old Nathaniel Abraham shot 18-year-old Ronnie Green, he became the scapegoat of a law that set the scene for the country's most controversial juvenile murder trial to date. On the 31st of October 1997, there was a commotion in Lincoln Middle School. There were police officers in the 6th grade class, and they were reading their rights. Not to the class teacher, but to 11-year-old Nathaniel Abraham, dressed up in a Halloween costume. A day before, on the 30th of October, 1997, an 18-year-old boy named Ronnie Green had passed away after fighting.
This man, his ops didn't put on a Halloween costume to go to school the next day. Now that's pretty gangster, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't even do that. I ain't gonna lie, that's pretty. Bro ended his ops, then put on an
18-year-old boy named Ronnie Green.
Ronnie!
Away after fighting for his life for almost 24 hours. He had been shot in the head by a single bullet from a .22 caliber.
That's a pump! This gotta be Fortnite! This is based on a true story. This is fiction. Bro, a .22 caliber? Bro, that's a pump. That's a legendary
rifle. As investigators scrambled to find out who this was, they discovered that on the day before, 11-year-old Nathaniel Abraham had stolen a .22 caliber rifle and gone shooting outside. He shot at a neighbor's house for.
Where do you even get that from? Stole? Where did you get that? You can't just get your hand. You're 11. How do you even know what that is? And y'all just had this guy sitting in your neighborhood this whole time? It took for him to somebody for y'all to call the cops?
Narrowly missing the man who owned the house. And moments later, he stood in a cluster of trees about 200 feet away from a convenience store, took aim, and fired a bullet that would hit 18-year-old Ronnie Green in the head and kill him roughly a day later. While Nate admitted that he was the one who shot Ronnie, he denied targeting him. Instead, he claimed that he was only aiming for light bulbs and trees.
Oh, hell nah! This is why an 11-year-old doesn't need a gun. Stick to Nerf guns. You could have shot at a tree with a water gun. Y'all little ass over here using real pumps.
The shot that Ronnie Green was, by his own admission, an unfortunate error. the prosecutors weren't buying it.
Lock
Despite
this
the
man
fact that
up.
the 11-year-old boy had never met
I hope you
Ronnie
don't drop
Green
the soap
before
on
shooting,
purpose.
They were convinced that he had deliberately set out to kill someone that day. If you're wondering what fueled the prosecutor's conviction, well, they had evidence that Nate had spoken to his girlfriend, saying that he was going to kill someone on the morning of Ronnie Green's tragic demise.
You see how get when they get a girls come into play? Want to be tough for the female so bad. He gonna catch a body. Oh, he King Von. Oh, he King Von. I'ma catch a body.
And that, after the shooting, he had bragged about the he made to his friends. With the backing of Michigan's
No way
Get
he
Tough
bragged
on Juvenile
about it.
Offenders Law, the prosecutors received permission to try Nate as an adult, charging him with first-degree and several other felonies. Nate was arrested, placed in handcuffs, and he was sent to Oakland County Children's Village, a juvenile detention center in Michigan, while he awaited trial. The arrest was deeply controversial.
Man, I'm 11 years old. I'm so scared to drop the soap. I'm holding the soap with 2 hands. Boy, I'm about to wash my body with 2 hands. I'm washing my 2 hands. I ain't dropping the soap, boy.
Controversial enough to deeply divide the country along several ethical lines. While there were many unwilling to contribute to the discussion, there were many more who thought that this was a fitting punishment for the 11-year-old Nate.
If an 11-year-old killed my brother, I would definitely want him in jail for the rest of my life.
The decision.
Just be
Amnesty
real.
International, Reverend Al Sharpton.
Think about the
and
victims
probably
for 1
every
second.
major civil rights activist in the country protested against the whole of.
Guy's 11 years old. If it was my brother, personally, I don't think it's no racism intent in there. You tried him as an adult. The judge tried him as an adult because they felt for the victim's family. At the end of the day, somebody suffered his immature decisions. That's nothing but his mother and father's fault. His dad done left him. His dad didn't even tell him he was getting the milk. The son was too young to recollect anything anyway, so he just walked off on his. The mother? Shout out to these 4 people right here. If you didn't know, I give a shout out to 4 people at the end of every Abdullah Next video. And just like these 4 people, you can get a shout out, boo. 2. You can get a shout out too. All you gotta do is like this video and let me know that you liked it in the comment section, man. I go through and I pick 4 people to get a shout out at the end of every video. It's very random. So yes, you can get a shout out, bro. I'm not sitting up here hating on you. I'm not sitting up here ignoring you, bro. It's really 4 random people every time. Please subscribe to my backup channels, man. They're linked in on my channel in the description. And I'm going to tell you the names right now. More Abdul Up Next. Abdul Up Next live. And guess what? I'm going live on Twitch on Wednesday. Dually Up Next on Twitch. Please go follow me, man. Let me know if you guys are going to tap into the stream. I'll see you guys there. Twitch.